Welcome back to Second and Short. It is Monday, April 29th, 2024. The NFL draft has concluded. All the picks are in. The live stream went super well. Had a lot of fun with Colin and Luke and Mike on the Discord call. Yeah. Mike stayed in for the whole draft.
The whole time.
It was awesome. I couldn't have asked for more from him.
Great time.
Unfortunately, we didn't get Jalen, which kind of stunk. But, yeah, Mike definitely helped us out a lot. Kept the vibes up.
Absolutely.
Nathan behind the camera giving us the news updates and everything. He's back there again.
He was okay.
Yeah, I think that was super fun. It went really well. Appreciate everybody that was in there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, had a blast. First ever live stream.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm super excited. Maybe we could find some other things we could live stream down the road.
Like Second and Short Field Day.
I don't think that would be live streamed, but that is an idea that's out there. So now that people know about that idea, but you don't know the details yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a bunch of content that's gonna be coming out this summer. So I'm super excited for this summer and what it means to Second and Short and kind of what we're doing right now. So we're gonna ride the high off the draft episode and talk a little more draft. Today is an all draft show still, and then we'll be right back to that regularly scheduled programming on Friday with Luke. Yeah, we're going to be grading every team's draft. So we'll go by each team, go through all their picks real quick, and then kind of talk about what we like, what we don't, what they should have addressed, what they did, all that stuff. And then we'll give each team a letter grade.
Absolutely.
All right. Anything else we need to talk about before we get into it?
No, I think we're good.
Okay. Nathan, can you pull up the Google?
Google.
Thank you. And we start with the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, and their first pick was Marvin Harrison Jr. Great pick.
Phenomenal.
Darius Robinson out of Missouri with their second pick in the first round. Max Melton, Trey Benson, Isaiah Adams, I can't read that. Riemann. I don't know why I don't have it pulled up on my computer. There we go. Elijah Jones, Dadrian Taylor Demerson, Xavier Thomas, Christian Jones, Tejan.
And Jaden
Davis. Taiwan. I don't know. Palmer. And Jaden Davis. I think the Cardinals did a fantastic job.
No, yeah.
Their top three needs, they addressed super early into this. Literally, their first three picks were their top three needs. They addressed them. I love that. Yeah. That's the approach I really liked. They go out, they get a backup running back in Trey Benson, who obviously I'm super high on because he's a Florida State Seminole, but I love that pick. After that, it's not a ton of guys that we're too familiar with. I do like the double Illinois takes on the offensive line. Offensive line and a tight end. So two guys that have certainly worked together plenty in Isaiah Adams and Tip Riemann. Illinois, fantastic draft picks coming out of Illinois recently. So I love those picks. You go down the line, you got just a couple of dogs they picked up that I really like. Getting Jaden Davis late is very good. Any Miami corner is going to do something for you.
Yeah. What is it? What I really like is Tip Riemann. He's very different from Trey McBride.
Yeah.
He's more of that blocking tight end more than the pass-catching tight end that they see with Trey McBride. Trey McBride is basically a wide receiver for them.
Yeah.
The way I see it. But Tip gives them another body on the line to help protect Kyler.
Definitely.
And Trey Benson's a dog. We've seen it.
Yeah.
He's going to learn from James Conner, and he's just going to be a menace in the NFL.
Yeah, he's going to be fantastic. I think he fits their system a lot. They like to run the ball. He's a good guy just finding the hole. So it's like
outside run too. Not really the inside run. They like the pitches,
Yeah. And I think he's good at even working back into the inside. He's really good at reading the hole, finding it, getting through, finding yardage. That was the biggest thing that I loved about him at Florida State was that he's super good at kind of everything when it comes to being a running back. He can catch the ball as well, which I think is an underrated part of his game.
Great pass catcher. Pass catcher.
But, he can find the gaps. When you run inside, he's got, great speed going to the outside. I love him. He's like the total package at running back for me. So
a little biased there?
Little biased, but it's also a matter of I watched his games. Like I watched every time he played last season.
Fair enough.
So I know his game pretty well. But, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a fantastic pick. I think he's a franchise guy for that team.
That sealed the whole draft for them, honestly.
Yeah, it really did. After that, it was like, okay, every pick you make from here on out is good because Marvin Harrison Jr. is on your team now.
Exactly.
The problem is Kyler Murray. Is Kyler Murray going to be the Kyler Murray that we saw,
we
back?
hope so.
in those first couple of years, or is it going to be, a little more recent times, and it's not going to be that great?
COD League's still going on, so we don't know yet.
He's got ranked to play, man. He's got to. I don't even know what the tiers are in Call of Duty anymore.
He's probably sitting gold 3 right now. If I
Gold
could say.
3?
Yeah.
What are you?
What?
What are you in?
Plat 1.
He's got to be higher than that.
Nah.
What are you in, Nathan?
He
Crim 1?
Yeah, I was about to say, he's
peaks at
sitting
Crim
diamond
1?
right now. Nathan's sitting diamond right now.
What's the highest?
Top 250.
He's probably like about to get into iridescent.
I think
if I was Kyler Murray, I'd say.
If he has to say,
Okay.
yeah, he's Crim 3.
Okay. Cool.
I
Yeah,
like-
I don't know what any of that discussion has
I
to
like
do
to
with
think
football,
he's
but-
gold 3, that I'm better than him, but yo, Kyler, 1v1 me, bro.
All right. Well, I'm glad we're doing this. Oh, well, actually, let's give the grade. The Arizona Cardinals get a B+ for me.
Yeah, I give him a B.
Yeah, I think to get into the A's, you got to get a steal.
Yeah.
Like, if you could get a guy that's super good late in the draft, I think that will kind of boost the team into the A's. I think Arizona did a great job at addressing needs, getting top players at their positions.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's hard to have, an A draft.
Yeah, it's the second round for me. Like, there were still a lot of top guys on the board when they went Max Melton.
Yeah.
That sort of just threw it off for me. Like, if they would have got like a solid defensive tackle that was still on the board,
Yeah.
they went like picks like around where the Cardinals drafted and everything
Definitely.
like that. But no, yeah, they get a solid B, mainly because Marvin Harrison, Darius Robinson, really for me.
Yeah, it's a fantastic way to start your draft. So I give him a B+. You give him a B?
Yeah, B.
Okay, cool. So I'm glad we're doing this in alphabetical order because we get to go ahead and talk about them.
Fuck.
Okay, our top need was corner. Didn't draft a single one.
Not a single one.
Hate it. Hate that. Okay. If you go back and watch the draft live stream,
You can watch our reaction to how.
hour 13 minutes in, you get to see our reaction to Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Now,
It's not great.
I still don't like the pick, but I think we overreacted a little bit.
Yeah.
I understand what they're going for.
Still don't like it.
Don't like it.
Yeah. Dallas Turner and Jared Verse are still on the board.
That's my problem, is how much talent was on the board and the fact that it seemed like the two other teams that drafted a quarterback after you were pretty sold on their guys.
Exactly.
It seemed like the Vikings really wanted J.J. McCarthy, and the Broncos weren't going anywhere but Bo Nix.
Exactly.
So Michael Penix just kind of confused me. And look, if they loved him from the jump, I get it. Trade down.
Exactly. Or maybe let Kirk know.
Yeah.
Kirk didn't know.
That's the worst part of that pick, is that Kirk Cousins was not aware until we were on the clock.
That is insane to me.
Yeah.
We just paid $180 million for him.
Yeah. And a lot of it's guaranteed.
Yeah, let's $100 mil guaranteed.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead and draft Michael Penix.
Yeah. And look, I get it, because there's the chance that Kirk is gone in 2 years.
Yeah, I think the thing they look at is like down the road, the QB class is not great.
No, it's not. But you never know what, in 4 years' time, these guys are still in high school that could be in this draft.
Exactly.
So it's like, who knows? So I think it's weird, but you get past that and you get into the second round and they draft Rook Ahorooro, I think it's Aurora. I don't
Great
know
job.
how to say it.
Great job.
I'll figure it out at some point.
Honestly, that might be worse than the Michael Penix pick.
Yeah, it just seemed like there was at that point, especially, one defensive tackle had come off the board.
Braden Fisk was still on the board.
Braden Fisk was still on the board amongst many others. Drizon
Yeah.
Newton was still on the board.
That's insane that we didn't go Drizon Newton, honestly, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
I
And
can't
Cornerbacks
understand
were
that.
still on the board.
Yeah,
Cooper.
so many
Kool-Aid.
corners.
Like, what?
Yeah,
But no.
that's just, it's puzzling to me that they go with Rook. Maybe they loved him. Maybe he's underrated. I don't know. We'll have to see how that works.
We go with the 8th best defensive tackle in the draft.
I think it's crazy. After that, it's a fantastic
Yeah,
draft.
I
to me.
love Braylon Trice.
Braylon Trice is such a good pick, and I'm glad we went day 2, and I guess the first pick of day 3, all defensive line. Love that.
Yeah, maybe.
Despite who they picked, it doesn't matter. I love that they went ahead and got it.
Yeah, Brandon Dorless was a great pickup too.
Agreed. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then going down the list, J.D. Bertrand is very good. He was very good at Notre Dame.
Alpharetta,
Yeah.
born and raised Alpharetta, went to Blessed Trinity.
Yeah.
Bringing him home.
Yeah, and then The Jace McClellan pick kind of confused me because,
It's weird.
as we know, we have running backs.
2 amazing running backs.
I think the thing is every year you should probably just draft a running back.
Yeah, it's just the depth. You want
Yeah.
to have depth because injuries are almost certain.
Yeah,
at this
especially with
point.
running backs. Somebody's at least going to get banged up for a couple weeks.
Exactly.
That's going to happen. So,
And
yes.
Jace is a dog too.
yeah, Jace is great. I think he was one of the best and most consistent players on Alabama last year, which says a lot because it was still a great team. They
Yeah.
had 10 draft picks.
Made the postseason.
Yeah, they made it to the postseason. So it's still a great team. He's a great player. I question that pick a little bit.
Yeah, honestly.
But it's also it's the final day.
Yeah.
So I'm not all that mad if
I
you get
feel
him in
like
the
we
sixth
would
round.
at least drafted like one corner in that spot
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Honestly, any corner would have been better than that.
Yeah, and then you draft back to back. They had their pick at 11. They traded up to get Jace McClellan at 10 in the 6th round.
Which was
The
fair.
11th pick in the 6th round, they take Casey Washington, wide receiver out of Illinois. I don't hate that, but I
No.
think if we wanted to go for wide receiver depth, go for it earlier in the draft. First of all, Roma Dunze was on the board at 8. Whatever. If
Or
you
even the
didn't want to
second
take him, then whatever.
80 Mitchell was
Second
available.
round, so many guys were still available at wide receiver when you picked Rook. So it's like, I don't know. I question a lot of stuff. And trading up for Rook kind of killed me.
We could have got him down.
Yeah, because the fact that we went up and we drafted the second defensive tackle of the entire draft, and then in the next 4 picks, 3 more defensive tackles went off the board, that makes me think we reached.
We absolutely reached.
But I love Zion Logue,
Yeah.
or Legue, whatever it is, out of Georgia. He's a great pick. Love that we stole him down there in the 6th round. He's great. So
6'6", 314 pounds.
there's
Dude.
something to work with there.
Dude's a beast.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
got size and strength, and that's the easiest thing to build on top
As
of.
long as he knows the fundamentals, we'll be
Yeah.
good.
Exactly, and he comes from Georgia, where they've had some successful defensive tackles in their day.
Just don't let him drive to practice.
I guess that's fair. What are we giving the Falcons? I don't know.
I think I'm in the C, like maybe D area, like D plus.
I'm gonna go C-
Yeah.
because I can reason with the Michael Penix pick to the point where I'm willing to say it's an okay pick.
That's the thing.
But
You
it's
can
Rook.
reason. You can
Rook drags them down to a C-.
you can reason with it, but we don't love it.
No.
That's the thing. Like if you look at it, our top 5 needs, we missed 2 of them.
Yeah, agreed.
Like was it offensive tackle and cornerback? Like
Yeah,
and there's so many offensive tackles
I know.
in the draft,
Yeah,
and we didn't get a single one.
yeah.
Like that is insane. And cornerbacks, like we said, pick 2. We could have had Cooper. We could have had Kool-Aid. We could have had so many. It was just insane to me.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the Baltimore Ravens. I loved their draft. They didn't have to trade all that much, and they just went out and picked up some players that I really liked. Nate Wiggins was a guy that I had going at 15. They get him at 30, which is fantastic. Second fastest combine this year. He's a fantastic corner. He pairs so well with Marlon Humphrey. So I love that pick for them. And then
They got
and
Nathan's
this
favorite
is a
player.
team where, yes, they have needs, but they didn't necessarily have to. They didn't necessarily have to take the best available at every point with these
No.
needs. They could take whoever they want because they've got a great team. My question is, you lose your defensive coordinator, and now it's like you'd think they'd go a little heavier on the defense
Yeah.
and get an edge rusher like they needed, because what if it was just that Mike McDonald's a fantastic defensive coordinator?
They're relying a little too hard on Jadeveon Clowney to have back-to-back seasons of what he just did.
Yeah. But
Um,
I love the rest of the picks. Roger Rosengarten's fantastic from Washington. He was so good last year.
You like that name?
It's a pretty good name. At least half of it. Adisa Isaac is great from Penn State. Penn State linebackers, notoriously very good. Tez Walker is an interesting draft pick considering they traded for it.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of him.
Yeah.
What he did at North Carolina wasn't fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, probably just paired really well with the team, gelled with the coaches and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think he had a decent pro day. The thing is, he just drops a lot of passes.
Yeah. Yeah. We saw that at the Senior Bowl. He had
Yeah.
a horrible showing at the Senior Bowl.
I'm surprised the Chiefs didn't draft him. He'd pair well with Kadarius Toney, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even though Kadarius won't even be on the roster. next year.
Probably not.
Now that they got Xavier Worthy,
Yeah.
absolutely
And if
not.
Taylor Swift has anything to say about it, be gone. Also in the 4th round, they got TJ Tampa out of Iowa State at corner.
That's the
Fantastic.
guy I wanted, bro.
Fantastic pick. Rasheen Ali, running back on a Marshall, is whatever. You can turn any of those guys into anything. Devin Leary's a fine pick, I guess, at quarterback.
He's going to come nowhere near to playing.
Yeah,
You got
Lamar Jackson exists. Tyler Huntley's a Pro Bowler.
I was about to say 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks on one team is insane.
So yeah, being the 3rd string quarterback for the Ravens isn't.
So they were just building depth here, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think they did a good job. And then they picked Nick Samick and Sanusi Kane with their last 2 picks. Look, I think they addressed some needs. They went out and they got some guys that are just good players. They got a couple of project-type players that I really like. So overall, I think Baltimore had a good draft, but I think overall it was pretty average.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a C.
I gave it a C+.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was average to good. So
yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. Let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. I think after trading out of the 1st round, they turned this into a pretty good draft class.
Yeah.
Obviously, Keon Coleman's a fantastic pick out of Florida State at wide receiver. They start off day 2, with that pick. Seemed like it was well received.
They got a lot of picks for next year, right?
Yeah,
I think they got a lot of 3rd and 4th round picks for next year.
Yeah, and according to ESPN, they addressed their top 5 needs in this draft, which is great. Obviously, wide receiver was the biggest need for them for sure. Keon Coleman certainly addresses that. I think he's the perfect fit for what they already have. He's a huge wide receiver. I think he's 6'4".
Yeah.
Almost 6'3", 213. So almost
the opposite of Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
Curtis Samuel's your fast guy. He can hit downfield.
Same with Khalil Shakir.
Keon Coleman's just a guy that's just going to get up for the ball and just truck your DBs and everything.
Yeah, and Josh Allen was heavily involved in this process, which I really like.
Yeah.
It's amazing what happens when your quarterback is aware of the picture making.
Yeah, you would think. Hey, Kirk, we're going to draft a wide receiver. Hope you're okay with that. You're still our guy.
Yeah. But, look, Keon Coleman is just a dog, so I love that pick.
Good vert.
Yeah, we're pulling up his vert right now. I know it's insane.
38.
38-inch vert. That's like NBA power
10-7
forward.
broad jump.
Yeah, he's insane. But down the list, Cole Bishop, the safety out of Utah, is fantastic. That was a great defense the last couple of years. He was a big part of it.
Yep.
Dwayne Carter, the defensive tackle out of Duke, was phenomenal. That Duke defense was amazing last year, and not a lot of people talked about it. But what Mike Elko did with that team and did with that defense was fantastic. It got him the head coaching job at Texas A&M. So I loved that Duke defense last year. Ray Davis had a ton of breakout performances at running back for Kentucky last year. Slowed down a little bit further into the season, but this isn't a guy that's going to be starting. It wasn't necessarily their biggest need to go out and get a running back, but Ray Davis is a very good one.
Yeah, and he can learn from James Cook and everything like that.
Yeah, he'll be fantastic there. You get Cedric Van Pran Granger out of Georgia, a center.
Solid center.
They don't necessarily need a center.
It's always good to have depth, though.
Yeah, I know it's listed as a need of theirs, but you don't have to go out and get one, especially not in the 5th round. But I think it's a good pick. He's a great player. So I don't
he's
hate
the 4th overall center in the draft.
Yeah,
got him in the 5th round. I think that's a steal.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all. Edifwan Olufashio. I don't know.
You got it.
I think it was pretty close.
Yeah.
Out of Washington, linebacker. Haven't really heard much about him. Javon Solomon from Troy, the edge rusher. I think he led Division I in sacks last year.
Yep. 16.
Okay. Yeah. And then Tylen Grable out of UCF, the offensive lineman. Daquan Hardy out of Penn State. Travis Clayton out of England.
Yeah. Tylen Grable is 6'6".
Is he just straight up from England? He's from the international.
Yeah, he's a former soccer and rugby player.
Pretty fucking cool.
Bro, Tylen Grable is 6'6", 306 pounds.
It's a big old boy.
That's it.
Damn.
How did he not go to Alabama? Travis Clayton ran a 4.79 40 at 307 pounds.
Holy shit. Big time rugby player energy. That's
Talk about
sure.
screen passes, and they're just going to throw a screen, and he's gone.
He's an offensive guard.
Yeah, and he's going to block out in front of the wide-out running back for him.
I guess so, but yeah, I think Buffalo had a great draft, all things considered. I think I'm going to give him a B-. It wasn't flashy.
Yeah,
but I think it was a good draft.
I'm giving him a B. Just like that average draft,
Yeah.
like they got their needs. It seems like they got who they wanted.
Yeah.
Like they traded down. They felt like they didn't need the draft in the 1st
Mhm.
round to improve their team.
Yeah.
And the thing that I like is that they looked at the future. Like next year, they have a lot of draft picks
Definitely.
and everything like that.
All right, the next team, the Carolina Panthers. I think all things considered, they had a very good draft. They addressed a bunch of things that I thought they needed. I wish they would have gone a little heavier on the defensive line, gotten
Yeah.
themselves an edge rusher. And also, they didn't draft a single offensive lineman either.
Yeah.
This was the whole problem last year for them.
Yep.
That was my problem. So, like, going up, trading up one pick to get into day one, into round one, and take Leggett was great. I think Leggett across the board was probably a little bit higher touted than Keon Coleman. And I think the Bills were probably sold on Keon. The Panthers were sold on Leggett.
It worked out.
They gave him a call. They were like, hey, we want to pick Leggett. We can't risk you guys taking it. What does it take? And they trade up and they take him. I think he's fantastic for their system. I think he fits super well. Jonathan Brooks in the second round that they trade up and take. Fantastic pick.
Yeah, Miles Bummy Sanders ain't going to cut it no more.
Yeah, he's going to do so well, be a huge help.
He can learn from
in that run
Chuba.
game.
Chuba still got RB1.
Yeah,
Jonathan Brooks is right behind him.
yeah, I think it's fantastic.
If I'm the Panthers, I say sayonara to Miles Sanders.
Definitely. Trevin Wallace out of Kentucky at linebacker is fine. I'm not too familiar with him, but then you pair Jonathan Brooks with his Texas teammate, Jatavian Sanders, who is another fantastic tight end in this class. You get probably the second best tight end in this class in the fourth round.
Yep. Replace, Hayden Hurst is who they had?
Yeah. But, Brock Bowers obviously going to the Raiders early in the draft. We'll talk about that pick later. But for it to drop all the way to the fourth round for the next tight end to get off the board and it be this good of one for the Panthers to pick up is amazing.
You'd
for
be
them.
stupid not to take him.
Yeah, he's so good. And then you got Chaw Smith-Wade from Washington State, Jaden Crometti from Mississippi State, and then Michael Barrett from Michigan. Not guys that I'm too familiar with, but obviously they liked him, so I can't knock them there. Once again, I wish they would have gone edge because you got rid of Brian Burns in the offseason.
Yeah.
I think with Carolina, they have so many picks next year.
Yeah.
From those trades, like with the trade with the Giants and such, like I think they added a couple of 2025s, and then I think with trades in this draft, they added a couple of 2025s. So, and I could be.
The thing is, they
wrong.
went double linebacker. They drafted 2 linebackers.
Yeah, I think that was a matter of you get to the 7th round, you're not familiar with a lot of guys.
So you just go with the best guy available? Almost?
Yeah, that's what I think that pick was.
Yeah. So here's a look at the Panthers 2025 picks. Their own first. They get the Rams second, their own third, their own fourth, their own fifth, the Giants fifth, their sixth, their own seventh, unless it's lower than
some conditional picks.
Yeah. Okay.
Which they're not going to draft lower than the Kansas City Chiefs.
No shot. Unless they just come out and Bryce Young's just like, okay, I'm sandbagging. Let me just turn up real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think Carolina overall with what they had, I think they did a great job. Yeah. Obviously, there was other things to address, but overall, I think it was very good. I'm going to give them a C+, because the thing is like, I'm also taking into account how this affects the team.
Exactly.
I don't think the team changes all that much.
No.
They maybe go from 2 wins to 4 wins.
You didn't.
Congrats. You're still probably the worst team in the league.
You did not help protect Bryce Young.
Yeah, that's your biggest problem.
Yeah, you just you had the first pick, you get Bryce Young, your franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
You got it. What can you do to help him out? Okay, cool. You drafted wide receiver and tight end and running back.
And running back, which they need.
Yeah. But
For sure.
you need O-line that can block for him.
For sure. I agree.
Yeah.
I
was C+ as well.
Okay.
That might have got skipped over. But
no worries. The Chicago Bears. They only made 5 picks. And goddamn it, were they some good ass picks.
I was about to say, can I go ahead and give him my grade?
Obviously, Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
You got guys that are fans of the Bears. The second Caleb Williams was confirmed, they're already cheering that they're going to the Super Bowl.
Dude, that's insane.
That is an insane thing to say. But then you make your other first-round pick in the top 10. At number 9, you take Roma Dunze, and you beef up this offense more. So now it's not only DJ Moore, who was there last year and was amazing, and Cole Kmet, who was there last year and was amazing. And then you got Keenan Allen from a trade who last year was amazing, and his entire career has been amazing in Los Angeles and San Diego.
You go out and you get DeAndre Swift, who's a phenomenal
you got DeAndre
running back.
Swift, who last year had the best year of his career.
Exactly. And then you just draft a phenom wide receiver, Rome Odunze, who just went to a natty.
Exactly, and a generational talent to lead this team at quarterback.
Bro, it's like
you couldn't have had a more perfect draft. They could have traded away their 3rd and 4th and 5th round picks, and I still would have thought they had a fantastic draft.
And then they go out and get the best punter in the league.
Exactly. Iowa's punter put in some fucking work last year.
He was their best offensive player last year.
Yeah. What is that?
Broke the 85-year-old NCAA single-season record for punting yards with a 67-yard punt.
Yeah. He's insane.
And he had the most punts in FBS in 2023 and still ranked 4th in average yards per punt.
Yeah. Obviously.
So he has the leg strength to drive the ball and handle a heavy workload.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Torrey Taylor's a great punter. And then you go out and you kind of get some sleepers because you're able to in this position.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his last name. I'm not even going to try. But Kieran from Yale, the offensive tackle. Sure, add an offensive lineman. You need it. Why not? And then late in the draft, 5th round, they get Austin Booker out of Kansas, the edge. I watched him a little bit last season. He was pretty good. I don't hate it. The 11th ranked defensive end to get him, or the 11th ranked edge, rather, you get him in the 5th round. That's really not that bad.
Yeah.
So, I love it. What was that?
Amegadihe.
Amagaji. Yeah, I'm a DJ.
I'm a DJ. I like that. No, I say we stick with that, Gray.
No, I forgot the G.
Nah. I'm a DJ. I'm a DJ.
I don't know. You're not a DJ.
I like I'm a DJ.
Okay. A minus.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm sitting A.
Yeah, I think if they would have made more picks, I would have gotten to the A plus range.
I think if they would have got that like defensive tackle edge rusher,
yeah,
it puts them at A plus.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they had a pretty good draft. I think they could have gotten other things, but they made a lot of picks. That was the big thing to me.
Yeah.
You get Amarius Mims, fantastic pick at 18. Maybe a reach, maybe not. Depends on what your board looked like, but I think it's a great pick. I think he fits really well. They need an offensive tackle. You get Chris Jenkins out of Michigan, fantastic defensive tackle.
Yeah.
Pretty much, if you got a guy that came from Michigan's defense in the last 3 years, he's probably pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. He's pretty pro-ready.
Yeah. And then Jermaine Burton, I think, is not a bad pick at all out of Alabama. He's a good wide receiver. Obviously, he's not going to get huge playing time. If they trade T. Higgins, he'll probably be wide receiver 3.
Yeah.
But even without trading T. Higgins, you can let Jermaine Burton kind of just sit around for a little bit, and you'll be fine.
So one of the things is, you can call this bias. I think he's one of the most pro-ready wide receivers that is coming out of this draft.
I just think attitude-wise, I
Top
don't like
3,
him all that much.
But pro-ready athleticism, ability to play.
Yeah,
he's one of the top wide receivers.
He's really good.
If he could dial in that attitude a little bit, he's a little bit of a hothead.
Yeah,
he would be up there. Probably could have went first round.
Yeah, I kind of see him similar, at least in
just a little shorter.
Maybe not in ability, but in his. I'm trying to think of the term I'm looking for. He draws comparisons to George Pickens in the route that he's been on.
Yeah.
Which hopefully you don't get those attitude problems, but
no, hope not.
If you get any shred of the skill that George Pickens has showed, then Jermaine Burton's going to be a great part of this team.
Yeah, he could turn up, especially with Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd.
Yeah,
all that.
McKinley Jackson out of Texas A&M at defensive tackle is a great pick. They went out and got 2 tight ends on day 3, Eric All and Tanner McLaughlin, just to add to the rotation.
I was about to say, they got 6 tight ends now?
Josh Newton, the corner out of TCU, is a great pick. And then your last 3, Cedric Johnson and Dijon Anthony, both of them out of Ole Miss, and then Matt Lee, the center from Miami. I don't hate this draft whatsoever. I would have liked them to get another running back, though.
Yeah, I think they need running back after getting rid of Mixon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Zach Moss, but maybe try to push for that Trey Benson or that Jonathan Brooks. Or,
I agree.
Hell, even Will Shipley you could have went after.
Yeah.
Hell, I would have liked them to get Jace McClellan
instead
of the Falcons. I think that would have been a great fit.
Yeah. And like I said, they made a lot of picks, and I think a lot of them fit their needs other than running back. So overall, I really liked their draft here.
Yeah. I'd probably give them a B.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I'm thinking a B.
Yeah.
B for Bengals. All right, well, let's see what the Beaver Browns get from us. The Cleveland Browns didn't have a first-round pick, didn't want to trade up into the first round. Second round took Michael Hull Jr. out of Ohio State. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Zach Zinter out of Michigan. He's a guy that was getting talked about first round potentially. Getting him in the third is great.
Before his injury,
Yeah.
like he could have gone. Honestly, I think he could have went top 10.
Maybe. Yeah.
Like he's that good.
Exactly.
I think the Browns got a steal with getting him in the third round.
And I think they got a steal as well in the fifth round with Jamari Thrash out of Louisville. He was the guy that we talked about in that wide receiver tier list that I really liked.
He's quick.
I saw him a lot. Yeah, he was great. That Louisville team was great. He was like their biggest weapon on offense. Yeah. And then Nathaniel Watson, Miles Harden, and Juwan Briggs out of Cincinnati is the last one. Obviously the last three picks, not too big of names, not guys that I'm too familiar with, but those top three picks they made were fantastic.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Nathaniel Watson, he's just a linebacker in the SEC, so you know he knows how to ball.
Exactly.
Because you know what it takes to get into the SEC in general.
Led the SEC in total tackles, tied for the conference lead in sacks in 2023.
He just likes to get after it.
Yeah.
At 6'3", 233, he is insane.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's quick, too. Quick on his feet.
Yeah, I love that pick. So I think what Cleveland came out here and did was they addressed a couple of needs and just kind of went with the guys they wanted.
Yeah.
More than the guys they needed because it's already a great team with a great roster.
You just got to stay healthy.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Last year they weren't healthy and they got lucky with some guys. Obviously Joe Flacco, the biggest one, but
Jerome Ford.
Yeah, Jerome Ford, played well when they needed to.
Signing Kareem Hunt and everything like that.
Like so many things went their way last year that hopefully the injuries go their way this year. They don't see him as much, and then you're successful from there on out. But yeah, I think Cleveland did a great job. I don't know.
I'm probably going back-to-back Bs here.
Yeah, I'm thinking B minus.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think a lot of these guys are like day one impact kind of guys. Yeah. And I think part of that is just you didn't have a first round pick.
Yeah, it could be higher for me, but they were only 2 out of 5 on getting their needs.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna drop down to a C plus.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, like they only got a defensive tackle and a linebacker. They didn't get running back, which they're very injury prone at.
Definitely.
Safety just to build depth in their already fantastic secondary, and then an edge rusher just to balance out Myles Garrett.
Yeah. All right. The Dallas Cowboys are the next team, and I think they had a very good draft.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Very low-key.
Definitely. They addressed a couple of needs. I'm kind of surprised that ESPN considers wide receiver their top need.
I don't see that.
Yeah, I guess because obviously Brandon Cooks is pretty old, and it's really just CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup.
Michael Gallup won't be a Cowboy by the end of this next season.
Probably not, but their first-round pick was fantastic. They traded back. They still got the guy I wanted them to get, which was Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma.
He's huge.
Fantastic pick. Yeah, the guy's a giant.
6'8", 322 pounds. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and he's got a lineage of great linemen to learn from in Dallas.
Bro, what you doing if he's running at you, bro?
I'm falling to the ground.
I'm laying on the ground, holding my knees and yelling, "Mama!"
They got Marshawn Nealand in the second round, who was like the best edge on the board at that point.
Yeah.
Which I think is a fantastic job. He was great at Western Michigan. Cooper Beatty at Kansas State was also a fantastic offensive lineman there. So you add more offensive line depth, which I love because they do have an aging offensive line. Maris Liafu is a great pick out of Notre Dame. Kalen Carson, I'm not too familiar with from Wake Forest. Same with Ryan Flournoy out of Southeast Missouri State. What?
You okay?
Yeah, dude, I'm drinking sparkling water. It's fucking me up.
That's like the 4th time.
I know. This sparkling water was a bad idea.
Yo, give this man a counter at the top right of the screen. How many times is Grace going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry"?
You're saying that like I'm not the one that's going to edit it because I'm not going to go through and see how many times I had to pause. All right, Nathan Thomas and Justin Rogers round out their drafts. But, yeah, I think overall they addressed some needs. They went out. They got good players. I like this draft class for them.
Yeah, just rejuvenating their O-line.
Yeah, and I think they added depth in some places that certainly need it. Like adding a young corner certainly helps with Kalen Carson. So I love this draft. I think it's not, like I said, it's not a huge day one impact. But I think overall it's pretty good. I'm gonna give him a B minus.
Yeah, I'm honestly 3 for 3 on Bs right now.
Yeah,
because they get a young wide receiver who I think is very similar to the way CeeDee Lamb plays.
Yeah,
like aggressive, can get up, just get after it.
Yeah, I like it. All right, let's talk about the Broncos. Their first pick is the one getting all the notoriety here. Bo Nix out of Oregon at number 12 overall. And apparently it took them a day to decide they were taking him.
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
I can't buy in on Bo Nix.
Yeah, just like one day, like Sean Payton's like, yeah, you're going to come be a Bronco.
Yeah.
We're going to overpay
crazy.
you, and then we're going to just sit on your contract for the rest of your life.
Yeah, so now their quarterback room consists of Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, and Zach Wilson.
I'm taking Jarrett Stidham to win out for game one, honestly.
It'll probably be Bo Nix. You can't pick a
Probably.
guy at 12 and not start him at quarterback.
Yeah, fair enough.
Unless
Unless
he really is that
he
bad.
shows up to camp and it's just like pick.
Like they needed a quarterback,
Yeah.
and he was the best on the board.
Yeah. Imagine what Zach Wilson's feeling like. Okay, let's go get it. Fresh start. We're gonna dial it in.
Wrong.
The Denver Broncos have selected Bo Nix with the 12th overall
Yeah.
pick in the 2024 draft.
Yeah, he's great.
And Zach Wilson's like, fuck.
He's in a great place, man.
Yeah. Well, they got his guy.
That's true.
That's the thing that makes it better.
Yes, the Broncos didn't have a draft pick in round 2, but in round 3 they took Jonah Ellis out of Utah, who's fantastic. I loved him last year at Utah, so he's a great pick. And then in the 4th round they trade up. They get Troy Franklin, Bo Nix, Oregon teammate at wide receiver.
Just make Bo feel comfortable.
Yeah,
That's the biggest thing.
I don't think Troy Franklin's really all that good.
No, but
personally,
he's
but
just there
it's
with
fine.
Bo Nix.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing you look at. You still got Cortland Sutton. I would have liked to see him maybe try to get a tight end here.
True.
Like a Cade Stover. I
Yeah.
think would have been really nice here. Even maybe make a push for Jatavian Sanders instead of like Troy Franklin or something like that.
Yeah, but you needed the wide receiver, so it's interesting. I think what their best option would have been was either take a wide receiver in round 3 or trade up one of those 7th round picks. Maybe package a 7th and a 5th to get up into the 2nd.
I would have liked to see Bronco first pick.
Yeah.
Like first round.
Yeah. But look, they had a lot of ways they could have gone. I still don't think it was a bad draft, though. The rest of the guys, Chris Abrams-Drain out of Missouri is not a bad pick at all. Him, opposite Ennis Rakestraw Jr. obviously got a little bit overlooked at Missouri, but I still think he was great. Audric Estime was one that certainly didn't test well as an NFL prospect. He wasn't great.
But he's a great player.
He's a great player at Notre Dame.
He's a good competitor.
For sure.
He's going to go out and just give you everything he has.
Yeah. And they still have running backs.
Yeah.
So
Javonte
you're not
Williams.
too worried about that.
J.P. Ryan.
Devon Vele out of Utah is a great pick. I liked watching him at Utah. He didn't have a great last season because the injuries at quarterback really hurt that offense, but he's still a great wide receiver. And then Nick Gargiulio, the center out of South Carolina, whatever. It's a center.
But the way I'm looking at it is like if you play Power 5 football, you can compete in the NFL.
It's a good point.
Like that's the way I.
And they
look
did
at it.
draft all Power 5 players. Obviously an independent.
But it's like
Notre
mainly
Dame.
like SEC. I'm gonna say Big Ten and ACC.
Yeah,
those are your guys.
Yeah, for sure. And formerly Pac-12. Sometimes.
No.
Especially on the line. If
you
you go
take-
on the line,
If you take
Pac-12
a
's fine.
Pac-12 quarterback with the 8th pick overall, you're dumb as fuck.
but if you take a Pac-12 quarterback with the first pick overall, you're really smart.
Yeah, exactly. But if you just like say, so hear me out. Just
And if you take one at 12, you're dumb as fuck.
listen. So just a scenario that doesn't really matter.
Okay.
So say you just
Spit.
sign a quarterback
Okay. For how
know,
much?
for about 180 million 4 years,
Okay.
100 guaranteed.
Gotcha.
Then you're like, hey, let's go get a Pac-12 quarterback, lefty, from the University of Washington with our first
Okay.
pick.
I don't think I've heard this story anywhere.
But let me tell you, number 1 edge rushers on the board.
Mhm.
Number 1 corners on the board. Number 1 any defensive players on the board.
Yeah, that's true. Every single defensive player in the draft
I'm
is on the board.
slapping with that Pac-12 quarterback to, certified backup.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Deal or no deal?
No deal.
All right. Thanks, Howie.
You are not the father.
Oh, what?
Sorry.
Look, I think we can bully the Broncos as much as we want about the Bo Nix pick. Otherwise, it was a good draft.
They had a better draft than the Falcons.
I
think so.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
I don't know about that.
All they missed was an offensive tackle, which I think they got in undrafted free agent.
Yeah, and I think free agency wise, they got some guys
And
too.
offensive tackle, there's just so many
There is
in the free agency after the draft. There's just so
Yeah.
many guys you can get that are just
definitely.
if they're big, get them.
Yeah,
Like you
Might
can
as well.
teach the fundamentals.
yeah, and they still have a good offensive line. So
Exactly, I
I'm
still
fine
think
with
it's
it.
better than the Falcons.
I don't know. I'm not buying into
They
Bo
were
Nix.
they were in more of a need for quarterback than us.
Yes, but the problem is that Bo Nix starting day one is probably worse than Michael Penix, even starting day one.
I don't know, man. Sean Payton's offense,
I'm gonna give him a D plus.
they sit C- for me.
I just don't think it was a good draft.
They sit C- for me.
All right, let's talk about the Detroit Lions.
Hey. Sorry, slipped.
It was a great draft.
I'm just kidding. I think going back-to-back corners is
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Honestly, just overloading the secondary
Yeah.
is amazing because that was a huge problem last year.
3 out of the 6 picks were secondary.
Yeah, and they were all three fantastic players in the secondary. Terry and Arnold is amazing. They get him by trading up with the Cowboys, taking him. He's fantastic. Great pick. Couldn't ask better. Ennis Rakestraw Jr. at the end of the second round is a steal and a half.
That's who I wanted the Falcons to get,
yeah,
bro. Like, come on.
you easily could have got him midway to early in the second round. You get him all the way at the end. It's a fantastic pick. Giovanni Manu, I don't know much about. He came from British Columbia. I think he's like the first player picked from there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out British Columbia. I don't know what your mascot is, but I'm sure it's a Patriot or something like that.
Do you know where British Columbia is?
Yeah, that's in Canada.
Yeah, so why would it be a Patriot?
I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
Wait, is that actually in Canada?
Yes.
Yo, I'm goated. Put me on a.
Yeah, 6'8", 350. He should have been drafted by Bill Belichick. I know
Bro.
Bill Belichick's not the coach of anybody, but Bill Belichick should have drafted him in like the first round.
Bro, put me on. Are you smarter than a 5th grader? I bet you
You
I'm
might
not.
lose.
I might lose.
You might not be. They also got Sione Vaki out of Utah, who I absolutely love.
Spell it.
Sione
Okay, good.
I'm looking at it on my screen. Too.
Yeah, you shouldn't have looked at it.
I knew how to spell it.
All right, without looking, spell the next guy's name.
I don't know his name. How can I spell it?
Exactly.
Whatever.
N-A-
Look, Sione Vaki is a
T-H-A-N.
fantastic pick at safety. He's so good. He was very good at Utah. Another one of those guys that made up that very good defense for them last year. Mekhi Wingo out of LSU was a big name, kind of dropped on draft boards, but I still think it's a great pick. And then Christian Mahogany, I don't know much about at offensive guard. But look, I think Detroit did a fantastic job. I know edge was a need, but with Aiden Hutchinson, you're going to have to pay him in a couple of years too. I wouldn't be too worried about getting one high. So if they didn't like any of the guys later in the draft, I don't blame them for not taking one.
I think they got one in undrafted free agency.
Good, yeah,
I
they
think
could have.
they did.
I don't know,
But
I
no.
didn't pay too much attention on draft free. I gotta be honest.
I gave him a B plus.
Okay,
I know that might be a little high, but just like we said, they went.
I think they drafted probably 3 starters,
yeah,
all in the secondary,
they
which could be a good thing and could be a bad thing. That's the problem.
biggest thing. I looked. You get Terrion Arnold
Yeah,
pairs well with Brian Branch.
for sure.
That
They used to play together.
yeah. And then you got Rakestraw too, who can
Yeah.
filter in and play snaps. That secondary just went from horrible to doable.
Yeah, I think so. I really do. And of course, they lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson early in the season last year to
That's
injury,
fine.
and then he left. That doesn't change anything if he left. He
No.
barely played. And then you get Sione Vaki, who I think is great.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a B. I think it was a good draft. I think they drafted some starters. I don't think they fully addressed their needs because I think they also needed to get a wide receiver in this draft, and they didn't.
Yeah, see, in the mock draft, I had them going Keon Coleman.
I don't know about first round
No,
wide
second
receiver for
round.
them or second.
Like, they get Terrion Arnold,
Yeah.
and then
Sure.
maybe, like, trade up a little bit to get Keon Coleman, or hell, like, just trade up, get, like, honestly, I wouldn't hate to see Ladd go to Detroit.
Yeah, that's true. That wouldn't have been bad either.
Even fucking, what's his name? Brandon Rice?
Brendan Rice?
Brandon Rice? Brendan Rice. I think he would have been good there, too.
All right, let's move on to another team in their division, the Green Bay Packers, who had a fuck ton of picks.
Yeah.
And I think they made a lot of good picks overall. Jordan Morgan in the first round, I think, is great. Not a lot of people talked about him.
He got a lot of hate.
He did get a lot of hate.
I don't know
I think
why.
it was a good pick.
He's a phenomenal offensive tackle.
Edgerrin Cooper, Probably the top linebacker in this class. Love that
Phenomenal.
pick. Halfway through the second round. It's great. Javon Bullard out of Georgia. He was so good at Georgia,
Top safety.
and they needed a safety.
They got the best safety in the draft.
Yeah, Marshawn Lloyd, running back at USC. Fantastic. Add some depth behind Josh Jacobs. I think that's great.
Yep.
Well, I guess they have A.J. Dillon.
Yeah.
Do
but
they? Wait, do they have A.J. Dillon?
They still have A.J. Dillon. They got rid of
Thought he
Aaron
was gone.
Jones. No, I'm pretty sure they just got rid of Aaron Jones.
Okay. They got Tyron Hopper, Evan Williams. That's sick.
Where did Aaron Jones
This
go?
guy's name's Evan Williams.
Yo,
That's awesome.
Nathan, did Aaron Jones? I can't remember.
Aaron Jones went to the Vikings.
That's fucking right.
Thank you. But yeah, Evan Williams is a sick ass fucking name from Oregon, for obvious reasons. Jacob Monk out of Duke is a fine pick, not amazing. Keaton Oladapo, never heard of him. Travis Glover, also never heard of him, but shout out Georgia State. Michael Pratt, cool.
They got their quarterback of the future.
There's a backup quarterback of the future. And then Kalen King, who's actually really not that bad of a player to be
That's a
taken in the seventh
steal.
round. Yeah.
That is a steal. He is a dog.
Yeah. So I really think Green Bay had a fantastic draft. Obviously they went ahead. They got they got 2 tackles. Actually, they didn't address the interior offensive line as much. No guards. But they did draft a center that maybe they'll move to guard. Because Jacob Monk is 6'3", 308.
Yeah.
So he's still a pretty big guy.
I think Big Ten cornerbacks are underrated. Like they're
Okay.
goated.
Yeah. Kalen King definitely falls into that. I think overall, I hate to give so many things in the B and C range, but
Hear me out. I'm going another B here.
okay, I'm gonna go with a B minus because I don't think there's a lot of impact players.
Yeah.
like there's not a lot of guys you're gonna see day one making just some big name impact. Like it's gonna be
think-
guys behind the scene. Jordan Morgan obviously is gonna start. Edgerrin Cooper will probably start as well, and so will Javon Bullard. But it's like, will they make a huge impact off rip?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Honestly, hear me out. Hot take. I think Kalen King will be a starter for game 1.
I don't know about
Hear me
that.
out. He's about to ball out
I
in
don't know
camp.
about that.
And he's about to just take off.
All right, well, let's talk about the Houston Texans.
There's nothing to really talk about.
A fantastic draft.
Fantastic team.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
They traded out of the first round, and it honestly paid off. They went out. I thought they needed to address the secondary for sure. That's what they did. They got Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia, which is a fantastic pick in the second round.
Yup.
Blake Fisher from Notre Dame on the offensive line is great. Get some more depth on the offensive line. I don't hate that pick at all.
Yup.
Kalen Bullock is a great pick at safety from USC. Cade Stover is such a good pick in the 4th round.
Plays just like Dalton Schultz.
Yeah, exactly. It works so well.
Yeah, it's insane.
Jamal Hill out of Oregon, Jahar Jordan out of Louisville. That's a fantastic running back late in the draft in Jahar Jordan. I loved watching him play. Louisville, Solomon Byrd, the edge from USC, Marcus Harris from Auburn, and Ladarius Henderson from Michigan. Overall, they had a fantastic draft. Do I think these are all going to be impact players? No.
No.
Do they need impact players? They've
No.
already got them.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like they don't really need these guys that are going to make a huge first day impact, but they've got guys that if somebody gets injured, obviously we got the news today that Tank Dell was involved in a shooting.
Bro, that is insane.
Sustained minor injuries.
I looked at Salvi. I was like, bro.
Yeah, how crazy.
What just happened?
You said it was an innocent bystander that was struck by a bullet.
That is wild.
Yeah.
And why? He's going to come out
So
next year and win MVP.
How weird.
Listen out for my boy Tank Dell next year to win MVP.
Coming off of an Achilles, right?
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't
Achilles
know.
and
Achilles and a gunshot is crazy.
Bro. Yo, go ahead and give him comeback player of the year.
Maybe.
The worst draft they had was Marcus Harris.
You're just saying that because he went to Auburn. You don't even know who he is.
No, he's a linebacker from Auburn.
No, he's not. He's a defensive tackle.
Defensive tackle from Auburn. Fair enough. I saw Auburn and I hated it.
All right. Well, let's give him a grade. I'm going to say it's relatively lackluster.
I
Give him a C minus.
Yeah, I was more sitting in the C plus B minus range.
That's fair.
But the thing is, there's not really much they can improve on.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like O line, yeah. I would like to see him get like some more guards and stuff like that. Like, yeah, they got some tackles and
I think
everything.
with guard, it's like there's like 5 of them worth drafting.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them you could just get as undrafted
Exactly.
free agent.
And there's tackles that can move into the guard position.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's move on to another team in their division, the Indianapolis Colts.
Hate it.
Horrible.
Hate
Horrible first pick in Leatu Latu at 15.
You don't need him.
Crazy that he was the first edge off the board.
You don't need him. That's your 5th most wanted need.
Yeah, look, he's going to be great right off the bat, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't think he can get all that much better than what he is right now. That's my problem with him.
Grayson, what was their biggest need?
Their biggest need was tight end.
Did they draft a tight end?
No, but Brock Bowers already got picked.
What about Jatavian Sanders?
They could have got him all of day 2. He was available.
Yep. Cade Stover.
Yeah, Cade Stover was available. So
Hell, Devin Culp from fucking Washington.
yeah, there was a lot.
Or was he from
They didn't get
Michigan? Which one was he from?
Washington.
Washington. Yeah, I don't know, Bull.
A.D. Mitchell in the second round is a fantastic
That's a
pick.
steal.
20th pick in the second
That's-
round
that's
to get A.D.
insane.
Mitchell's crazy.
That is insane.
Marco Gonsalves from Pittsburgh, pretty solid offensive tackle. Tanner Bortolini from Wisconsin, never heard of him. Anthony Gold from Oregon State is pretty damn good. I really liked him with DJ last year. Jalen Carleys, I think is how you say that, from
Back-to-back
Missouri.
safety was weird,
Yeah,
though.
Jalen Simpson from Auburn, both safeties. That one is interesting.
And then they went corner.
Yeah, look, I don't blame them for trying to just add depth in the secondary. Like, they needed corner and safety. Go ahead and address that. And you know, if you didn't like any of the guys early or some of the guys you wanted weren't there,
Yeah.
I don't blame them for doing that. But also, you could have addressed corner or safety at 15. You literally took you had all the defensive players to choose from, and you took Leatu Latu.
I thought for sure they were going to go Terrion Arnold.
Yeah, I did
first
too.
round.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily a bad draft, but it certainly wasn't good. I think A.D. Mitchell really helps. The rest of it, not great.
Yeah, without A.D. Mitchell, this is like an F.
Yeah, I'm giving them a D+.
Yeah, I'm sitting D.
I know they addressed some needs, but I think they addressed a lot of their needs a little bit late.
Yeah, I'm sitting D.
All right.
Wait,
what? All right. Let's go to the Jacksonville Jaguars, another team in this division.
Yeah.
How weird, alphabetical order. 3 of
Nathan,
them
don't
in a
look
row.
at me like that, brother.
I think the Jags had this was like a Madden draft.
Yeah.
They looked at their list of needs and they were like, okay, let's get one of those, one of those, one of those. That's what they did in this draft. They needed a wide receiver. They went out and got Brian Thomas Jr., which was a fantastic pick after trading back as well.
After this
which I
year,
love.
he will be wide receiver 1 for this Jags team.
We'll see. Zay Jones, Christian Kirk's still there, so
Zay
guys
Jones
that
is
can
injury prone.
contribute.
Christian Kirk is just a bum.
All right, fair enough. Mason Smith out of LSU, another fantastic pick, also out of LSU in the second round. Great pickup.
Seeing a
Love
trend
it.
here, Grayson.
Yeah, Jerry and Jones, Florida State corner.
Trash.
I love Jerry and Jones.
Trash.
Once again, because I saw him play so much.
Trash.
You keep saying trash. You don't even know the first thing about him.
Yeah, he's fast.
How do you know that?
His name's. He's got the last name Jones.
So he's fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he plays cornerback, so he's got to be fast.
He's got to be pretty fast. Yeah, he's very fast.
4.38, 40.
Yeah, whatever. Javon Foster out of Missouri, great offensive lineman. Jordan Jefferson out of LSU. They must have read it wrong or something.
Yeah.
They were like, "Holy shit, Justin Jefferson's on the board." A defensive tackle. Bro, come on.
Sorry. I was really hoping the Vikings were gonna get him. 3 JJs on one team.
I guess. Yeah. DeAndre Prince out of Ole Miss. He's actually pretty good. I talked to Brock about that pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a little insider info.
Yeah, why not? He's not on the team anymore. Keelan Robinson out of Texas, fantastic running back.
Second
Really
string,
not that
right?
bad. Yeah, but he was still very good.
Yeah.
Cam Little from Arkansas, sure, he's a kicker. I don't know how I feel about a kicker with the last name Little.
He's got little legs.
I think, I don't really care about how they actually kick the ball. I care about their name. If you got a good name, you're a good kicker. If you got a bad name, you're a bad kicker. I think Cam Little's a bad name.
What about Will Reichard?
Will Reichard's okay. It's a strong last name.
Yeah, Reichard's
Carries
pretty
the
good.
first name, but Cam Little reminds me a little bit too much of Stuart Little, and that just doesn't sit right with me.
What about Chicken Little?
Yeah, fuck both of them. I hate Stuart Little and Chicken Little. So, Cam Little, you're on my shit list to start your career. I'm sorry.
Chicken Little's goated.
Chicken Little's a bitch.
Bro, the sky is falling.
Yeah.
The sky is falling.
Who says that?
Chicken Little.
Okay, Miles Cole from Texas Tech is whatever. I think the Jags overall had a pretty good draft. I think there's a lot of guys here that are going to play
Yeah.
to start the season. I
I'd
think,
love
honestly,
it.
their first 3 picks will probably be in the lineup.
I love it.
I like it a lot.
I'm going
So-
B+.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a B. I think, they didn't make any, crazy good steals or anything in this draft. I just think, they picked some great guys at great spots. So it's pretty
The crazy,
run-of-the-mill.
The crazy good steals are what gets you into an A.
Yeah, and not a lot of teams have done it.
Not yet.
Not yet. And it's not going to go here. Kansas City. Look, if Kansas City wanted to, they could make no picks except for a wide receiver, which they did. Now, did they necessarily need to trade up to take Xavier Worthy?
Probably not.
No. But he's really fucking fast, and he's got sure hands.
All right, but hear me out. Yeah, Xavier Worthy, Tyreek Hill 2.0. But
Xavier Worthy also compares to Kadarius Toney surprisingly well.
but I'm just talking about the fact that they had Jamal Charles read the second-round pick.
Dude, that was fucked up. Because first of all,
That name is so hard to say.
why'd you make him say San Francisco?
Yeah.
Why'd you trade with San Francisco for that pick? So he had to say that. And then,
You take,
because I believe the way he pronounced it was San Fran City,
yeah,
I
something like
believe.
that.
Shout out Jamal Charles. He's awesome.
Goated.
Just not at reading. Kingsley Suamata is very good out of BYU.
Yeah, but don't make Jamal
Yeah,
Charles
but
say
don't
his
make
name.
Jamal Charles say that name. Jared Wiley out of TCU is fine. He's not a great tight end per se, but he's fine. Jaden Hicks out of Washington State, sure. Hunter Norzad out of Penn State, Kamal Hayden out of Tennessee, and
Sure.
CJ Hansen from Holy Cross.
Overall, this is just like an average draft. Maybe
I
a
think it
little
was super
under par.
average.
Maybe under par.
Yeah, they addressed needs, which is nice. Their first 2 picks addressed the first 2 things that I thought they should have gone after,
Yeah.
which is perfect. After that, it's they don't really need anything, so it's hard for them to reason making a bunch of picks and trading for picks and all this
Yeah.
stuff. So I don't blame them for having a lackluster draft, but if we're looking at it objectively, this is a D or a D+.
Yeah, absolutely. I like D+.
All right, let's go to the division rival. The Los Angeles Chargers
Chargers.
had a weird draft.
Did you see fucking Harbaugh chanting the Michigan
Yeah.
chant when they got Junior Colson?
Look,
Weird.
I don't know why people were surprised they picked Joe Alt. If you looked at a mock draft at the beginning of April and all the way through March, Joe Alt was going to the Chargers. No doubt about it. Joe Alt was going to the Chargers if you looked at a mock draft, probably more in February and March, because then it switched over to wide receiver. I thought Joe Alt was going there kind of the whole time. I only changed it because I thought teams would want to trade with them.
Yeah.
So Joe Alt makes sense. I don't know why people are questioning that pick. I think it's great.
It's a great pick. I just thought they were going to go Malik Neighbors just because of how.
And they could have,
Yeah.
but I think they got a great wide receiver in Lad McConkey.
3 of them.
Yeah, they did draft 3 wide receivers, and they're all very good options,
Yeah.
honestly. But Lad McConkey was a fantastic draft pick in the second round. You trade up to the second pick of that round, and you take Lad McConkey. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Junior Colson is a very good linebacker out of Michigan. Obviously, Michigan connection, but still very good. Help me out with that last name, Colin, from Alabama.
Let me sit up for this one. Justin Igbogby.
Sure. I
Igbogby.
figured you'd probably heard his name.
I've heard his name, but at the moment I can't remember.
Fair enough. Tarheeb Still out of Maryland. They also picked Cam Hart from Notre Dame, Kamari Vidal from Troy, and then Brendan Rice in the 7th round is a great pickup. And then
That's
Cornelius
insane.
Johnson out of Michigan, right before Mr. Irrelevant, essentially.
How many wide receivers went first round? Like
5?
5?
5 or 6. You had Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Roma Dunze, Brian Thomas,
Worthy,
Leggett.
Leggett.
I think that's it. So 6.
I feel like there's more.
I don't think so.
Either way, Brendan Rice was 14th ranked wide receiver, and he went in the 7th round.
Yeah, no, I think it was a fantastic pickup for them. Now obviously, their wide receiver core is not fantastic, And I also don't love their running back room. I know they have J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, but I don't love that.
No.
J.K. Dobbins can't stay on the field, so that
Guess
doesn't
what?
help.
Gus Edwards is only good from 5 yards and in.
Which, if you get to the 5-yard line, fantastic. Now,
Chargers aren't great at that.
Do you have the wide receivers to do that? I don't know, because we'll have to see what Ladd McConkey
I was
can
going
do.
to say.
And I would love to see what year 2 from Quentin Johnston looks like when he can actually be the wide receiver 1.
He needs to learn how
on
to
a
catch
team.
the ball.
Yeah, that would be a good start. Nonetheless, I think they actually had a very good draft. I think this is a lot of day one impact kind of players.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm going to give him a B.
Yeah.
I think it was a good draft, as much as people want to shit on that Joe Alt pick.
I'm back on my B train.
All right, let's talk about the Los Angeles Rams. A+. Look,
Nathan, can you get there, brother?
their first 2 picks,
There you go.
Jared Verse, fantastic start, if I do say so myself, at 19.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. And then Braden Fisk, that they trade up to take out of Florida State in the second round, and the 7th in the second round.
Overrated.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Idiot.
No, I'm just kidding. He's definitely
Braden
underrated.
Fisk is a fucking dog.
Definitely underrated.
Yeah. Look, you pair up the tandem to essentially put 2 bodies to replace the impact of Aaron Donald. Yeah, fastest 40-yard dash out of the defensive tackles in Indy, and he's 6'4", 292.
Yeah.
And he's probably going to get bigger in the NFL. That's the big thing. He's
to.
probably going to put on more weight at defensive tackle and make him even more vicious.
I'd
on the
like to
defensive
see
line.
him get to around like 310.
Yeah. And I think he can achieve that for sure.
Yo.
And then in the 3rd round, 2 more great picks, honestly. Blake Corum is a good depth move. Obviously, Kyron Williams is there, but we saw him miss plenty of time. They had like 6 running backs last year. And then Cameron Kinchins is a guy who,
Underrated
going
as
into the
fuck.
season, I thought he could have been a first-round draft pick. Obviously, Miami wasn't a great team, so that hurt him. And then at the Combine, he was pretty damn good. So I love him. He's a great safety.
Yeah, Kinchins is underrated as fuck.
Yeah, very good. Brennan Jackson, Tyler Davis, Josh McCarty, Jordan Whittington, Bo Limmer, I don't know, and then
Bo Lemire.
KT Leviston out of Kansas State rounds out their draft. But look, I think this one's super top heavy. After that, it's not like flashy. They didn't, steal anybody late. They didn't address a ton of needs. No corners, no offensive tackles, no backup QB to draft. So it's not a fantastic draft, but I love their first 4 picks.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna give them a B+, because I think all 4 of those top 4 picks play day one. Obviously, Blake Corum's not gonna start. The other 3 are probably gonna be starters, and then Blake Corum will be in the rotation.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting around B- right
Okay.
now. Mainly just because, like you said, they didn't hit corner, they didn't hit offensive tackle.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna bring it into a B.
Yeah.
Not B+.
like only 2 out of 3, like 2 out of 5 needs.
Yeah.
is what hurts them,
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the Vegas Raiders. Not a huge fan of this draft class.
brother.
Now, 3 picks here are amazing.
Yeah,
I still question the Brock Bowers pick because you drafted Michael Mayer last year in the first round,
I don't love it.
but he's a fantastic tight end, so I
Yeah.
can't hate on that. And honestly, it's not a bad place to be in when you've got 2 tight ends that are very good. They're both good blockers. They're both good pass catchers. Brock Bowers is probably one of the best tight ends I've ever seen, at least when I've watched college football. It run after the catch. Like he's insane at running after the catch. He was doing end arounds for this Georgia team.
Jet
He was the
sweeps.
source of offense for about 8 weeks of the season, probably last year. Like, he was insane. And then Jackson Powers Johnson is a guy who I had going like late 20s.
Yeah.
So to get him kind of at 12 in the second round is a fantastic pickup, and it helps the interior offensive line, whether he plays center or offensive guard. Delmar Glaze out of Maryland. I've never really heard of him.
What a
but,
name.
I know Maryland had a pretty good offensive line, so that certainly helps them out. And then Decamerion is maybe it. I don't know. Richardson.
Decamerion.
Decamerion? Okay.
Decamerion.
Okay, that was weird.
Richardson
Stop.
from Mississippi State.
Stop. Tommy Eichenberg in the 5th round is a
Phenomenal.
steal. Big
Phenomenal.
time steal for Tommy Eichenberg in the 5th round.
Tommy Ike. He's got Ikes in his veins.
Dude, stop. You got to stop trying on these ones. Dylan Loeb out of New Hampshire, Trey Taylor out of Air Force, and MJ Devonshire out of Pitt. I really like this draft class overall. Obviously, question marks around the Brock Bowers one because there were certainly players to take at 13 that were much better. Or not much better, but better options for this team. I still think he's a great player. I think they address some good needs in the next couple of rounds. And the steal of Tommy Eichenberg is a big one for me. I'm going to give him a C+.
Yeah, I'm sitting around a C.
Yeah, Brock Bowers kind of pulls them down. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I think it's bad for them.
But you just can't go tight ends back-to-back years, bro.
Yeah, it's an odd position to do that.
That's like drafting a quarterback when you just signed a quarterback. I'm sorry, guys. I'll stop. Maybe Michael Penix should just change his name.
To what?
Keyshawn Butte. Keyshawn Butte.
Why?
So he can gamble?
He could still gamble. He just shouldn't.
Yeah, as long as he changes his name, he's chilling.
No. All right, let's talk about the Miami Dolphins then. Horrible fucking draft.
This might be like the first F, honestly.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say I'm giving him a D-, but Chop Robinson is an okay pick. I'm not sold on him. We talked about the hand, or we talked about the wingspan on Chop Robinson. They kind of needed an edge, but where they picked, they could have addressed defensive tackle. They literally could have had Byron Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, he was already off the board
gone.
at like 19. Whatever. Still, they could have drafted a top defensive tackle.
You could have taken even just fucking Braden Fisk, honestly.
Well, but there was multiple other guys to pick ahead of him at defensive tackle. Jerzon Newton at 21 would not have been a bad pick.
Jerzon Newton would have been a phenomenal. I think that's who we all had going in our mock draft.
Yeah, that's where I had him. Patrick Paul out of Houston's fine. Jalen Wright out of Tennessee makes no fucking sense.
Yeah, I saw this. I was watching this on NFL Network when they drafted him. They're just drafting a track team.
Yeah,
when it goes.
Yeah,
he's fast as fuck. Pairs well with Devin Achane. Pairs well with Raheem Mostert.
That's my problem.
Who pairs well with Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, you don't need them. Who
pairs well with Jalen Waddle?
You don't need a running back. And I think in the 4th round, that's a crazy thing to go after when you clearly do have needs on this team. Muhammad Kamara was a need. He's a great player. Malik Washington is a okay pick. You don't need another wide receiver. Patrick McMorris out of Cal, I don't know much about. And Taj Washington at USC is great. You don't need another wide receiver. I don't get it.
Yeah, this draft is fucking weird.
Yeah.
I give him a D-.
Yeah, I'm giving him a D-.
Can I give him an F+?
Yeah, have at it.
F+.
All right, the Minnesota Vikings. Okay.
Goated.
J.J. McCarthy exists, and they picked him. And I think it's fine. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to sit here and be like everybody else and just be like, what did J.J. McCarthy do in college that made him a top 10 pick?
He's the best quarterback to ever hand off the football.
That's true. He's the best quarterback to hand the ball to Blake Corum.
He's got the highest handoff percentage.
Okay. Look, he's fine. I'm not going to say he's great. I'm not going to say he's a generational quarterback talent. He's fine. He's going to be the starter, whatever.
He's a generational quarterback talent.
He's not.
I know. You just said you couldn't say it, so I said it.
Okay. Well, you can be wrong because I can't. Dallas Turner's fucking amazing.
Goated.
Getting him at 17 is
insane.
Amazing. The
Imagine
fact
if
that he wasn't
8.
picked in the top 10 is crazy.
Should have went 8.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been available when they picked J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. You see Kevin O'Connell's reaction when he was like, "Yeah, we're getting Turner."
Yeah.
And Kevin O'Connell's like,
"It's a no-brainer."
Really?
It is a no-brainer.
It's insane.
Yeah, and then the rest of the draft was fine. I know you're going to like it because I took Will Reichard in the 6th round.
Bro, goated.
Whatever.
Greg Joseph is a bum.
Yeah. I'm more of a Levi Drake Rodriguez from Texas A&M Commerce guy.
How tall is he?
I don't know. I've never heard of him.
He's 6'3".
I'm going to go 6'4" at defensive tackle.
Actually, no, he's 6'5". Damn,
6'1", 269? You ain't no fucking defensive tackle.
Oh, wait.
You're a point guard, dog.
Relentless pass rusher who had 5.5 sacks and forced a fumble. A fumble. He is quick enough to develop into a disruptive run defender at the NFL talent.
Bro, you played at Texas A&M Commerce and you weren't good?
He had one forced fumble.
All right. Who plays in their conference?
Pull it up. I like the way you're typing. So like,
I gotta
or-
type one finger, so I gotta move fast. I should probably should have put football.
I think Nathan's trying to beat you to it, but he can't.
I know.
I think Nathan forgets he can't really type.
God, why is their thing loading?
They're D2. Wait, no, they went from D2 to D1 in the Southland Conference.
Oh, God. Give me a break. I'm pulling up their website right now. Okay. They play against teams like HCU. I don't know who that is. It just says HCU.
Lamar, Nichols,
It's a bad fucking conference.
New Orleans,
South Louisiana.
Southeastern, McNeese.
This is a shit conference. University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
Bro, they went 1-9 in this conference. 1-5 in the conference.
Yeah.
1-9 overall.
Yeah, this dude's a bum. I guess he was a 7th round pick.
He was like, all right,
I don't know why we're going on a tangent shitting on a 7th round pick, but
I will, bro. He's fucking shit.
yeah, I think overall this draft was bad outside of Dallas Turner. Look, I understand the J.J. McCarthy pick. I still don't think he's great. I don't think he's transformative for this franchise.
Will Reichard is goated.
Sure, whatever.
He's going to win best kicker of the year.
What about that one?
What one?
The one that he should have made
Which
against
one?
Tennessee?
That's already out the best.
Why you got glitter on your face?
What?
I just saw like glitter glistening on the side of your face.
Don't worry about it.
All right, well, I don't know
Yeah,
what you did.
it's so I tried this new sunscreen.
Mm-hmm.
It's got glitter in it.
Why'd you buy it?
I didn't buy it.
Who gave it to you?
A friend at the pool.
All right, fair enough.
I was burning, and then she was like, "I got sunscreen in my bag,"
I feel like it's too late if you're already burnt.
but like I don't want to burn worse.
Colin, I have seen you so burnt.
I don't want skin cancer.
I can't wait for us to do an episode when you like come back from a beach trip and you look like Larry the Lobster.
I'm gonna wear the hoodie too.
Oh, you are?
The sleeveless hoodie that I got under the shirt right now.
Yeah. Or are you gonna wear your fucking hoodie you wear on every episode?
The passion hoodie.
Yeah. I was gonna say a color, but I don't think I was right.
What color?
Blue?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Goated.
All right, let's grade the Minnesota Vikings
Slay
D.
Queen.
a D. They got D for Dallas Turner is the only pick you made.
Nah, I give the Vikings a C+.
All right, I think that might be our biggest discrepancy on
Yep.
grade yet.
Will Reichard puts him above and beyond.
Jesus. I'm trying to be unbiased with the Florida State picks, okay?
I know, and I'm being unbiased with Alabama.
That's
Honestly,
bullshit.
Greg Joseph missed so many field goals and PATs for him last year.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I'm not going to base a draft
They
off
got
of a
their
kicker.
biggest needs.
I'm not going to base a draft off a
They
kicker.
got edge rusher to replace Danielle Hunter.
Couldn't even beat Tennessee.
They got quarterback to replace Kirk Cousins. They got kicker to replace Greg Joseph.
Sounds like they're replacing too many things.
They need to.
That's what I'm saying. They shouldn't need to replace so many things.
Everybody's leaving. You know why?
Maybe it's a sign of the times.
Because Kevin O'Connell's a joke.
Could be. Could be. All right, let's talk about the New England Patriots. Gerard Mayo, his first draft class, and he takes Drake May, 3rd overall. Works for me.
Solid.
Yeah, makes sense. Jalen Polk in the 2nd round.
That's a stretch. That's a
Wild.
reach. That's
Yep.
a reach.
Bit
and
of a
half.
reach at 5th overall in the 2nd round.
That's a reach and a half.
I guess overall in the 2nd round is not that doesn't make
Yeah,
sense.
bro. He went 37th overall in the
Yeah.
2024 NFL draft.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's a reach. Caden Wallace, sure. Layden Robinson is very good.
Very
the
good.
offensive guard. Javon Baker, I think, is a fantastic pick
He's fast as
out
fuck.
of UCF. Marcellus Dial, I don't really know much about from South Carolina. Joe Milton, sure, I guess.
Drafted
And
2
Jaheim
quarterbacks
Bell
is
is a
crazy.
fantastic pick for the 7th round. My only problem with Jaheim Bell is that he's barely a tight end. He doesn't want to be a running back, and he doesn't want to be a wide receiver.
Yeah, bro. He wants to be a fullback.
Yeah, but he's kind of not.
Yeah,
And,
you can't be
he left South Carolina because they wanted to turn him to a fullback.
6'2", 241.
He'd make a great fullback. I just don't think he wants to.
He wants to catch the ball.
And I don't blame him. He's a tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, they needed a lot of these things, and they addressed a lot of these things. Like, I don't blame them. I think it was a good draft overall. I think it was just pretty average outside of Drake May.
I would have liked to see him go safety round 2 instead of Jalen Polk.
Yeah. Or at least just don't trade up
Yeah.
to take Jalen Polk.
Either Cooper or honestly, I wouldn't have hated to see Javon Bullard
Yeah.
go in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
Because I think he went, 3rd?
Yeah, but they could have taken him in third. They picked fourth in the third round.
Could have. Jalen Polk just did not need to be your
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. And I think that reach kind of brings him down a little bit for me. I was going to say C+. I'm going to give him a C.
I can give him a C-.
Because Drake May could be their franchise quarterback.
C-.
All right. Let's talk about the New Orleans Saints. I think they overall had a pretty good draft.
Yeah, they did.
Talise Fuaga, I absolutely love. I didn't even have him dropping to 14. He was the last of the first 14 that were offensive players. He was the last one of that group. But yeah, I love Talise Fuaga. He was a great pick. Kool-Aid McKinstry, what a pick in the second round.
Absolutely.
How do you get Kool-Aid McKinstry in the second round?
9th.
And now you pair him with Marshawn Lattimore. It's amazing.
That is insane.
They didn't make another pick until the 5th round.
Did you see they lit up their stadium as like a Kool-Aid logo?
Awesome.
That shit was kind of funny.
Yeah. Also, the story behind his nickname is hilarious.
It's insane.
I think it's his grandma said that he had Kool-Aid mouth.
No, he's got a smile.
Or a Kool-Aid smile or something.
Kool-Aid smile because he smiles like the Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah. Yeah, Spencer Rattler fucking sucks dick. He sucks.
5th
I
round.
hate him.
What a waste of a pick.
I hate Spencer Rattler. UFL him.
Should have went Joe Milton.
UFL him. Bub Means, steal in the
Steal.
5th round. Absolute steal. Bub Means is amazing. I don't care if he was the 21st ranked wide receiver. He's a steal. He had a bad combine. Jalen Ford out of Texas. Never heard of him. Don't care. Christian Boyd out of Northern Iowa. Also
Goated.
don't care. And Josiah Ezerim out of Eastern Kentucky. Also never heard of him. Don't really care.
I hope you like
What
ramen.
I care about is that their first 4 picks really aren't that bad. I know I just shit on Spencer Rattler, but you might as well get some kind of depth when Derek Carr's your quarterback.
Yeah. All it takes is one game.
Yeah. And for Derek Carr, it's like every game he misses at least a quarter.
One game, brother.
Overall, I like this draft. I think you kind of had a steal with Kool-Aid and a steal with Bub Means. Overall, I think it's a pretty good draft. I just don't know how much impact is in this draft.
This is mainly a depth draft.
Yeah, and I think it addresses that very well. So I'm gonna give him a C.
I like
kind of
C.
middle of the pack.
I think I'm sitting there with you.
Okay, let's talk about the New York Giants then. Obviously, a fantastic pick that clearly addresses a need in Malik Neighbors.
Yo.
They could have gone quarterback. They didn't. I wish they would have taken Michael Penix because it would have made us do something else. But also, Danny Dimes is getting paid so much money for multiple years for how bad he is. So Malik Neighbors, fantastic pick. They've needed a wide receiver for a long time. Tyler Nubin, a fantastic pick in the middle of the second round. It's safety, easily one of the best safeties in the class. Andrew Phillips out of Kentucky, pretty good. Theo Johnson, tight end out of Penn State, is fine. It's not great. Tyrone Tracy Jr., don't really know much about him out of Purdue. Running back, obviously you need running backs because you don't have one anymore.
He's quick.
And Darius Muasau out of UCLA.
Great job. That's a tough name.
Thanks, man.
Muwasu.
I think this draft was kind of boring.
Yeah. Besides Malik Neighbors and Tyler Nubin, it's pretty just like basic.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It didn't reach on anybody, I'd say. I think Malik Neighbors is a great pick at 6. I think Tyler Nubin is a great pick.
I'd like to see him
15 in
maybe
the second
get like
round.
a Michael Pratt or like something as a backup quarterback.
Maybe. Yeah,
Because DeVito ain't it.
that's true. I don't know. They're in a weird position at quarterback because of the contract they gave Daniel Jones last year.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a D plus.
I'm sitting.
Malik Neighbors is fantastic. Tyler Newman's great. I think the rest of it sucks, and I think they should have maybe traded for some picks this year.
I said D
Okay.
again.
Let's talk about the New York Football Jets.
They got
new
your
logo,
guy.
New logo for the Jets.
I kind of like it. You like it?
Kind of don't.
You don't like it? I kind of like
don't
it.
love it.
It's just simple.
Yeah, it's a little too simple. Whatever. We're not talking about their logo. We're talking about Olu Fashanu, their first round pick.
Check out the screen.
What is this? To everyone who mocked Jamal Charles for struggling to announce a draft pick, remember he has a learning disability. Whoops.
Jamal competed in the Special Olympics as a child and delivered a powerful speech titled "I Can Fly."
You know what? Now that they bring that up, I do remember that speech, and it was a very good one. Now I feel like a dickhead, and I'm not gonna edit it out. So, to my past self, my bad.
To my past self, keep it up.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. That was kind of
Okay. But also, like, why did they... I think this reinforces why did they choose him to do it.
Exactly. Does that mean?
I don't think so. No.
No, like what I said.
Oh, well, you said yeah. Yeah, no, fuck you for that.
Sorry.
No, I still think it's just like a bad idea to choose a guy with a learning disability.
Who cares if bro can't read? That dude could ball.
That's fact.
He was a dog.
Exactly. Dude, I don't often make fun of Floyd Mayweather.
That was me when I saw the video.
Floyd Mayweather can't read. Fantastic boxer.
Yeah.
All right. Malachi Corley out of Western Kentucky. Fantastic wide receiver. Love him. Braylon Allen out of Wisconsin. I think it's kind of a steal in the 4th round. He's a fantastic running back. Jordan Travis. Dog. Jordan Travis in the 5th round. Perfect backup for Aaron Rodgers.
I like it.
I love Jordan Travis, obviously. Yeah, I'm all for it. And I hope Aaron Rodgers misses time.
Yo,
that's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything worse than that.
See,
I want to see Jordan Travis at least step on the field.
bro, it's okay to talk about someone's disability that they can't read.
No,
but you
it's
can't.
not.
You can't wish on an injury.
I'm
for
not
someone,
wishing
bro.
for an injury. I'm wishing for him to, like, I don't know, like, not get vaccinated and get COVID again or something.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
get your gabagool.
Does COVID still exist? Can people still miss time for COVID?
Get your gabagool looking at it.
That doesn't make sense. Okay, Isaiah Davis out of South Dakota State. Okay, this one's interesting. I didn't know you could draft from the CFL. Quantez Stiggers from the Toronto Argonauts. I didn't know you could draft from the CFL. That's crazy.
That's insane. Toronto Argonauts. Cornerback, too.
I've never heard of that happening.
Quantez baller. 5'11", 203.
Do they address it at all in his profile? No.
He has small hands.
That's not good. Whatever. And then Jalen Key, Mr. Irrelevant out of Alabama.
My guy.
Yeah, very irrelevant.
Hey, he had a passionate speech.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very cool. What were the keys of it?
The keys of it?
Yeah. Was he the keynote speaker?
Let's fucking go. This shit's easy.
Nope.
I'm him.
This shit's easy is what he said?
No, that's
and
what
he
I
got
said.
drafted 7th
That's
round,
what I said.
Final pick?
That's what I said.
Interesting. Okay, look, this is a boring-ass draft class. for
Yeah,
the
it's
New
kind of
York
just
Jets.
basic.
Yeah, it was just like address a bunch of needs and get a bunch of depth, and that is exactly what they did, and I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I think I kind of have to go kind of middle of the pack. I know a lot of these guys aren't going to make a day one impact, so it drops it down a little bit. C- for me.
I go C plus.
Well, if middle of the pack is C, and they're not going to make a day one impact, I'm going to go C-.
I like C. I like C plus.
Okay. Let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. They fucking killed it.
Yeah, they
did.
They did some tricks on it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Okay, I don't know about that, but they had a fantastic draft class. First round, you get Quinyon Mitchell to fall to you at 22. You're the luckiest guys in the world.
And then
then you get even more lucky because Cooper DeJean drops to you in the second
DeJean.
round.
DeJean.
I don't give a fuck how it's said.
It's Cooper DeJean.
Cool. It's Cooper DeJean, I guess.
Cooper DeJean.
Cool.
DeJean.
DeJean. Don't care.
Gene.
Second round, 8th pick. They traded up for him. He is so good. Fantastic pick. They need to address secondary. Why not just totally replace entire secondary? Even though you still have players there. Jalix Hunt, don't really know much about him out of Houston Christian. But sure. Will Shipley, I hate him. So I think he's just a bad football player. But that definitely has nothing to do with him going to Clemson or anything. Aeneas Smith out of Texas A&M, wide receiver, fantastic pick. I think he's kind of a steal in the 5th round. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. out of Clemson in the 5th round, another fantastic pick.
Even though he went to Clemson?
Yes, because he's actually good at football. Trevor Keegan out of Michigan, I don't really know much about him. Johnny Wilson, dog. Can't catch a ball at his hips. That's a big problem. He's literally too tall to catch a ball.
6'6", 231.
Yeah, he's too big to catch a football. Really.
Maybe he should be a tight end.
Yeah, but he's not wide enough. He's not a blocker at all.
Pre-draft analysis, Wilson is built more like a tight end than a
I
receiver.
don't care. He's not a tight end.
He doesn't separate well for a receiver.
The problem is that he can't block well.
Yeah.
and he can't catch well.
So it sounds like he shouldn't play football.
Probably not, but I love him. Yeah, bro needs to play basketball.
Man should be a golfer.
He'd be a solid small forward, like
Man-
a tried and true wing player.
Maybe he should be a professional disc golf player.
I doubt it. I doubt he's good at it or even played it ever.
Who knows?
Okay. Dylan McMahon, their final pick of the draft. I think
Dog.
this is one hell of a fucking draft class. I think you have some day one impact. You have some steals. You have kind of everything. I'm getting into the A range. I'm giving him an A.
Really?
This is a fantastic draft class by the Eagles.
I'm going. I think I'm going B plus.
Everything that I thought they needed to address, they did, and they did it with like some of the best players they could have.
Yeah, just like that offensive tackle spot. They could
Yeah.
hit at least
Agreed.
one.
Agreed.
At least one.
Let's talk about the Steelers.
All right, Luke, you ready for this one? Let me tell you, bro. Your team's in for a long ride.
I think they made good picks.
They drafted too many people with the last name Wilson.
2,
That's too many.
I guess.
Wilson's
maybe.
a horrible last
But-
name.
Peyton Wilson's amazing.
He's good.
He literally won. I don't know what the award's called. He was like defensive player of whatever college football. Is
He's-
that the Bednarik Award?
He's a great
I don't
player.
know what it's called. Yeah, he's amazing. Peyton Wilson's fantastic. Getting him in the third round is crazy. Roman Wilson,
Nah.
not my favorite. Zach Frazier and Troy Fatanu on the offensive line, dogs. Zach Frazier, I had going to the Lions at 24 or wherever
Really?
they picked, whatever 29.
Really?
Yeah.
You had him going first round?
Yeah, but it's mainly just because he's a dog, and I thought Dan Campbell would have taken him.
Yeah. Bark.
They are dogs.
Fatanu's a great
Yeah,
pick.
Fatanu is amazing. I don't really need to talk about him much. And
The
then
rest
Mason McCormick, Logan Lee out of Iowa, who's great, and then Ryan Watts out of Texas. I think it's a fantastic class.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a flashy one. You don't have like a big time guy at a lot of these positions, or like you didn't draft anybody crazy at like running back or wide receiver, but you didn't really need to,
Exactly.
which is a nice place to be. But I
Don't
think it
have-
hurts it grade wise just because we're not going to see the impact of these players too early on.
Yeah, don't have to draft quarterback.
Yeah, you
Everything
got
like
two of them.
Yeah, that's just so dumb.
But I would have liked them to go tackle at some point. They didn't, which is interesting, but it's whatever. I think overall they had a good draft. I'm going to give them a B minus.
I go B.
All right. The Seattle Seahawks. Byron Murphy in the first round. Fantastic. pick.
Murph.
Love it. Christian Haynes out of UConn's pretty good. Therese Knight out of UTEP. I've heard of him, so that's a good sign. If you went to UTEP and I've heard of you, that's a good sign. AJ Barner out of Michigan. Nehemiah.
Pritchett.
Yeah. Satoa Laumea.
Lamaya.
Sateoa Lamea. I don't know. DJ James, that's much easier, and Michael Jarrell out of Finlay.
What a goated guy.
Can you fact check me? Is Finlay the school with the weird dog as their
Yeah, they have a
logo, or am
Chihuahua.
I thinking of Albany?
Findlay, Ohio?
I don't know. University
University.
of Finlay football maybe would help you find their mascot. Nope. We're trying, people.
We're doing
No.
our best.
Okay. They're
When you
the Oilers?
When you try your best,
What
but
are
you
they?
Don't succeed.
Oh, wait, hold on. I know exactly what this team is. Okay, never mind. Doesn't matter.
What
I was
are
mixing
they?
them up with Albany, I think.
Oilers.
Yeah. They're from Ohio, correct?
I thought they were from Houston.
No, that's the Houston Oilers. They do not exist. Why are you closing your eye? You about to fall asleep, man?
Nah, bro.
It's 9 o'clock.
Is it really?
Yeah. All right, so yeah, look, the Seattle Seahawks, I think they had a good class.
Pace.
Overall, I think it was a good class. It didn't really address a ton of needs, was my problem. They only addressed offensive guard and corner, and that was both late in the draft. I think you could argue that Byron Murphy's a little bit of a reach because he was more of like a mid-20s guy.
Yeah.
But overall, I think it was an okay draft. I just don't think it was great. I'm going C minus.
I like B here.
Okay.
Byron was 14th like overall ranking.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know if you really needed to get a defensive tackle that early.
Yeah.
I don't think they needed a defensive tackle at all.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's talk about the San Francisco 49ers. Love it. Love this draft. I love this draft because they're in a position to do whatever the fuck they want. That's what they did with Ricky Pearsall. They took whoever the fuck they wanted. He's a sure hands guy. Have you seen these catches he's made?
I saw that one-handed one over the middle.
And then he gets smacked and he holds onto the ball.
But how do you feel if they went Florida and then Florida State, like back-to-back?
Look, I don't give a fuck about where you went once you leave. Once you leave Florida or Miami or Clemson or Georgia Tech, for that matter, I don't care.
But what about Will Shipley?
Will Shipley, I genuinely just don't think he's that good.
Okay. But it seemed like when we were talking about him, there was personal hatred.
Yeah, because I've watched him, and I don't think he's good, and people do.
And you just hate him because of it.
Yeah.
Man can't get his bread.
He can get his bread. Just not on my watch.
You just won't give him
I'm not
flowers.
paying his bills.
You won't give him flowers?
No.
Fair enough.
He can buy his own flowers. He got his own bag. All right. Ricky Pearsall, A1 pick. Renardo Green is an amazing corner. Dominic Pooney, Malik Mustafa is great out at Wake Forest. I liked him a lot. Isaac Garendo was fantastic alongside Jahar Jordan at Louisville. Jacob Cowing, Garrett Kingston, and then Tatum Bethune, another Florida State player who I think is very good. I was kind of surprised to see him go that late in the draft, but Tatum Bethune is amazing.
Almost Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, by 6 picks.
Very close.
37 picks in the 7th round.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Very close.
It's all good. Alabama had Mr. Irrelevant. So
Yeah,
makes
goated.
sense. They're going to be irrelevant in like 5 years.
Still more relevant than Florida State.
I don't think irrelevant is more relevant than somebody that's relevant.
Yo, say that again. Wow. My brain.
You're the only one that didn't understand it.
My brain is flabbergasted.
I'm saying that Alabama's going to be irrelevant. You said that means they'll be more relevant than Florida State. But if Florida State's going to be relevant, then irrelevant is less relevant than relevant.
You got to chill out, bro. My brain. Shit. My brain.
It makes perfect sense. Nathan can probably attest.
Nathan,
Yeah, okay.
Nathan, what did he just say?
Nathan, you could turn on your mic and explain this.
Basically, he said that you said,
Yeah.
right, that Alabama is going to be more relevant than Florida State. But if Alabama's already irrelevant, that means they're not relevant at all. Which means Florida State can't be less relevant than a place that isn't relevant at all. Meaning Florida State is more relevant.
Yo, I'm so.
There's this thing called a prefix. And in this case, it's ear, which means not.
Yeah.
So if Alabama is not relevant, then they simply cannot be more relevant than anything.
Aren't you taking a literature
So we're
class right
talking
now?
about
Shouldn't
right
you
now.
know about prefixes and suffixes?
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on.
Well,
San Francisco
summer school,
Giants-
here you come.
The San Francisco Giants get a B minus.
I'm going to give the Niners B.
I think I said San Francisco Giants.
Yeah.
San Francisco 49ers get a B minus. The San Francisco Giants are okay too.
Dumb man. I'll give
Okay,
him a B.
we're almost done. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think they had a decent one.
I love it.
I think it's a pretty good class. I just don't think it's like a lot of like big impact guys, like
I think so.
big names. Graham Barton's gonna play for sure.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I love him.
Chris Braswell's
Chris
gonna play.
Graswell gonna
He's
play.
Gonna play.
Yeah. Tyke Smith is very good. I don't know if he'll immediately start, but he'll definitely make an impact. Jalen McMillan could be a great wide receiver 3 for this team. Bucky Irving's gonna be there. I don't really think he's that good. He'll be there.
Chase Edmonds, bro. And what is it? Rashard White?
Rashad White,
Rashad
yeah.
White?
Elijah Klein.
Devin Colt,
Devin Colt is a
baby.
good pick in the 7th round, except for the fact that you have Cade Otton. So like you don't really need him.
Yeah.
I think that was just a matter of you're picking all the way at the end. He's still available. Why not take him?
They could have went corner here.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have taken a corner at some point, and I wish they would have taken a tackle. They didn't, but I think they also addressed a bunch of needs. They also provided themselves depth in a couple of places that they definitely needed it. I think overall it's a pretty good draft. I think it's kind of average, but I'm giving them a B minus as well, just like I give the 49ers.
Would you believe me if I said I give him a B minus?
Yeah, I believe you.
All
You
right,
just
cool.
said it. I trust you, man.
Just making sure.
All right, Tennessee Titans. They went out and they just drafted their needs, and I loved that. I really did. I
With a
think
phenomenal first pick.
yeah, J.C. Latham, a fantastic first pick. Colin was saying before the podcast he thought Tavondre Sweat was a bit of a reach. I think that's fine because that was right when the defensive tackles were getting off the board. So I don't hate going out and getting him because I think he was the 5th or 6th one off the board. So it kind of makes sense. He was the 6th ranked one, unlike taking the 8th ranked one as the
J.C.
second
Latham,
off the
though,
board.
going back to him, Nathan, click on his size real quick.
Yeah, J.C. Latham's
6'6",
huge.
342, brother.
Yeah, a huge human being. And then
All right, go
after
ahead.
that, it's kind of irrelevant picks. Cedric Gray, Jarvis Brownlee, Jaquan Jackson, James Williams, Jalen Harrell. What are you saying, Nathan?
I'm pretty sure they said on the draft broadcast after the Titans made that pick for Tavondre Sweat that in the first 2 picks, there's a chance they set a draft record of drafting 700 and I think it's 6 pounds of human in the first 2 picks.
Light
Jesus.
work.
Some big boys coming off the board right there.
Light
Yeah.
What's
work.
the combined height, real quick? 6'6" and 6'5".
Yeah.
They were almost 13 feet
13-1.
tall.
Nope.
Nope.
12-1.
Nope.
Nope.
You said 6'5" and 6'6"?
Yep.
Correct. 6 plus 5? 11.
There's 12 inches in a foot.
Oh, fair enough.
Colin,
poor future
I've
wife.
got to say this right now. This is going to be an all-time bad look for you on this episode.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
This is it's a bad day. It's a bad day for you. I think Tennessee Titans had an underwhelming draft when it comes to day one impact
Yeah.
and flashiness, but I think they address needs a lot, which I
absolutely.
love.
Absolutely.
So I kind of got to go right down the middle and just give them a C.
Yeah, I like that. I'm sitting more of like I'm sort of sitting C plus. I kind of
Okay.
like it because they addressed all their needs. They got O line, protect Will Levis, everything
Yeah.
like that. They got some young wide receivers, young secondaries, and they made trades in the offseason, but I know that's not really
Yeah.
about this. But they're just building well around their team.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Washington Commanders to round it out. Fantastic fucking draft class. Oh my
Heisman.
God, I love that draft class. Jaden Daniels, obviously a fantastic quarterback, probably their franchise guy.
Yeah,
Jazon Newton is a steal because he got to the second round.
it's insane.
He's amazing. And he went after Rook. Mike Sainristil from Michigan is a very good corner, which I don't hate that pick. Ben Sino from Kansas State. I don't really know much about him, but then Brandon Coleman I do know about. He's pretty good out of TCU, the offensive guard. Luke McCaffrey, obviously the brother of Christian McCaffrey, the son of Ed McCaffrey, so he's probably going to be pretty good at football.
Another set of brothers in the NFL.
That is true. Jordan McGee out of Temple, and then Dominique Hampton out of Washington, and Javante Jean-Baptiste out of Notre Dame. I think it's a pretty good draft class. I think they addressed so many needs in free agency that it allowed them to kind of have some fun with this draft class, and they go out and they get 2 big-time day one impact kind of picks in those first 2 picks, and then they add depth down the road throughout the rest of this. Love this draft class for Washington.
Yeah, honestly, about top 2 picks for them, put them at a B plus for me.
Yeah, I think I'm going to give them a B because I think they were at the B plus, and then it kind of got a little boring, a little
Yeah.
bland down the road. You didn't get any kind of like steals or anything, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
So I give them a B for me. That does it. That was a long road here.
That was it?
Yeah. What do you mean that was it? We just went for like an hour and a half.
Felt like 30 minutes.
Pull up OBS real quick. How long have we gone? Yeah, over an hour and a half. I think we're gonna skip the Sporcle. Are we ready to get out of here or no? Do we want to play a Sporcle?
We can do a quick one. What do you mean? I'm fine now.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, let's do a Sporcle. Fuck it.
I'm fine.
We've got most passing yards through their first 5 seasons.
This is a tough one. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. Like even like this is just.
Can we zoom in? Any chance?
Oh
Sure.
wait, I think I got
Sure, it
this
looks
shit,
fine on
brother.
OBS.
I think I got this shit.
You can see really all you need to see. Yeah, we'll fix it mid-recording. Fuck it. All right. Nope, almost. There we go. Okay, we're good to go. Let's do it. The people see it? Yeah, we're good. All right. You gonna go first?
I'm gonna try to.
Okay.
Yep. So Indianapolis, Peyton Manning.
Manning.
Yo.
Nice. I don't want to do this Tampa one.
Appreciate you letting me go first.
I guess I could just really go anywhere I want.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna go Matt Ryan.
All right. Is Miami Dan Marino?
There's 2 Miamis, so you got a good chance. Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, right. Is the let's see, Cincinnati? Is that Andy Dalton?
Nice, good pull. The other Colt, Andrew Luck.
Like that. Saints, Drew Brees.
No,
Really?
He started with the Chargers.
That's right. My bad.
Um,
That was my bad. My bad. My bad.
let's see. New England, Drew Bledsoe.
That's solid,
Thank you.
brother.
I'm so scared to guess that Tampa Bay one.
Detroit, Matthew Stafford.
Let's go Chargers, Justin Herbert. Just because it said L.A., maybe. I think it had to be Herbert.
Cleveland, Carolina, LA Rams. Interesting. There's
I
another
just found another good one.
dude. This is St. Louis Rams, Kurt Warner. No, fuck.
The Denver, Chicago is Jay Cutler.
I like that. That was a good one. Yep. Is Seattle Russ? I don't think so.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Dallas one's got to be Dak, right? Yep.
True, Poppy. Buff. Not getting buff. Yo, what the fuck's so funny?
You just saying Buff instead of Buffalo.
Dude, I'm trying to think right now. Who the fuck could this say? Cleveland, Carolina, Philly. I gotta skip.
Come on, man. You know some players.
I should.
Okay, I want to guess this Tampa Bay one. Let's try Jameis Winston. Okay, cool. Got that out of the way.
Crazy.
I just didn't want to be wrong in guessing him.
I was about to say, I kind of don't want to guess this one for Carolina because I don't think he played for them that long.
Who?
Cam?
Give it a try. I think that might be right. Yeah.
Fuck.
Hell yeah, dude.
I didn't think he played for Carolina
Yeah.
for 5 years.
That's fair. Jared Goff.
Fuck. Dude, Miami. I can't think of another quarterback that played for Miami. Buffalo, there's no way it's Josh because he's
Wait,
been
if-
in the league that
oh,
long.
Just a quick. If Herbert's on there, theoretically, Tua could be. They were in the same class.
Tua?
Yeah. Voila.
Voila.
Nope. I think it's VA or VO. I don't know.
But just Google that shit.
VAI
I
LOA
don't think
maybe.
it's Tua.
Okay, it might not be. It could be Ryan Tannehill. Nope. Okay, cool.
What
Yeah,
year,
you're up.
what year did Josh Allen get drafted?
He's definitely been in the league for 5 years. So
Yeah, I was about
yeah.
to say Buffalo.
That Oakland one's got to be Derek Carr.
Yup.
We got the whole left side already. We're doing pretty good.
Yeah, Baltimore.
Oh, we did not put this in practice mode though.
Joe Flacco.
Nice. Oh
Trevor?
shit.
Nah, is it Trevor?
I think it's way too early for Trevor Lawrence. I think it's Blake Bortles.
I love that.
Let's
Yo,
go. All right, keep it moving. We got 5 left in a minute and 20.
San Fran. Who's San? It's not Kaepernick. No.
Oh, Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. Yeah. No.
No way. Oh, wait, hold on. Joe Montana. Fuck. Figured we'd
Steve Young.
try it. He didn't start with them.
Fuck.
Damn.
Yeah, we got a minute left.
Try Bradford.
Yo, Vic.
Who the fuck was that? Cleveland, Carolina, and LA. That one's so tough. can't think of a single Saints quarterback that wasn't Drew Brees.
Or Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston.
Yeah, or Derek Carr. I don't know if we can get any more of these.
That I don't think I can.
We probably should, but I don't know if we will.
Yeah, just go ahead and give up, honestly.
Yeah.
Carson
Wentz, you fuck. Oh, Baker, fuck. Dude, the Rams fucked me up with Baker because he literally played like 2 games for them.
I wasn't.
Who the fuck is Aaron Brooks?
Or Mark Bulger.
Yeah, I probably should have got Jeff Garcia, but
I
whatever.
probably should have got Carson Wentz
Yeah, no, we definitely should have.
and Baker.
Yeah, who the fuck? Oh, wait.
Football.
There we go.
What?
Yeah, that dude didn't exist.
Nah.
Convince me otherwise. I
Nah.
dare you. Oh, he's cousins with Michael Vick. That's cool as fuck.
Should have been a Falcon.
Not good,
Not
right?
Horrible through those middle years.
Yeah, but also his career pretty much ended after this.
Bro, threw 22 picks in 2001.
Oh my god. He sucks.
Damn.
Okay. I think we've held the people here far longer than we typically would on a Monday. So
Yeah.
look, we want you guys to enjoy your week, and if you want us to enjoy our week, you should follow us on all of our social media accounts. You should like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're on the podcast platforms, rate 5 stars and give us a follow there. Make sure you submit your questions on the Reddit by 4 p.m. on Thursdays. r/2nd A&D short to submit those questions. And Colin, anything for the people before we get out of here?
We got Can,
Gotcha.
Lights,
Yep.
Floppy,
Heard.
Water.
Let's go. Okay, you heard it here first. Can, lights,
Floppy, water.
and water. Don't know what any of those mean. Nobody does. I don't think Colin does either. Look, if you haven't watched the draft special, obviously it's a very long video to go back and watch, but skip through. Find your picks. You know, we're obviously talking about all this stuff. So go back, revisit that if you didn't get to see it. And I think that's going to do it for us. I'll see you later this week. Colin will see you next week. Peace.